Oh no, feel free to eat yours, or don't worry about making crumbs. I had a bit of breakfast on my way up, and I've got one sandwich in the back for later on. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
So this is where he's going on the Jeep drive, huh?
Yep.
All on this road here.
Yeah, exact route.
Silly question, is the road paved back then? Is it dirt?
This was dirt, this one. And then when they hit the village of Yeovil up here, they hit a blacktop road. This would have been dirt. So another reason they're going very slowly along here. Especially because two guys perched on the hood.
Koskamaki writes that he's like itching for some action, but what he's looking for is where his lost battalion.
Yes, Sink's another different type of person to Winters and Spinners again. Bourbon Barbie's men called him. He was a semi-alcoholic. Can you be a semi-alcoholic? I mean, he's a controlled alcoholic. I don't know what you'd call him.
Functional alcoholic.
37 years old. He's younger than me on D-Day, but he looks about 60 in the photos. They get here, and Hank Hanna's reading the map. The driver sort of doesn't know where he's going, and Sink's just sort of being a very Colonel Sink. And they drive up here. Now, what they don't know is that from now on they're in no man's land. The Americans aren't here. There's Americans behind us. There's Americans to our right. And there's Americans way over to our left. But this road heads to Carenton, and Major Van der Heiter, who has by now been up San Comdemont Church and seen the troops on Utah Beach, has got Fallschirmjäger troops, his own German paratroops, coming up this road towards Utah Beach, and they're digging in round these hedgerows and fields. Well, about here, they drive past and they see a horse park, and there's horses there. There's a couple of German sentries, but Sink is now going some speed now, and they all like go, "Oh, was that German? Oh, I don't know, mate. Was it? I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Let's carry on anyway." And as they get up here, just before the turning, we're taking the turning left. There's about 12 Germans, and there's Germans actually coming up either side the hedgerow, either side. And the Germans are somewhat bemused to see this American Jeep just driving up there like it's on a sort of Sunday afternoon drive. And there's a moment where lots of people sort of look at each other and they sort of, what's going on here? And then suddenly all hell breaks loose from this hedgerow here, and machine gun fire, and blah blah blah, and the Colonel Sink's driver does a handbrake turn and goes back down the road to where we came from. And then when they go back past the horse park, Hanna with his .38 pistol kills the German sentry as he goes past. And this hair raising, and well, the funny thing is and I can't remember who told me this now. Might have been, it probably was Bando. Bando knew Hank Hanna very well. Hank Hanna lived to be about 92 or something. Sink died in the 60s. The two guys on the front both didn't survive the war. They both died in Bastogne. The driver, I forget what happened to the driver, but the only real survivor of this was Hanna. And Hanna used to dine out on this story for years, and it got better each time he retold it, of course, over the number of Germans got more. But he did say that when they got back, the two guys who'd managed to not fall off the front, even though the Jeep is now doing 40 miles an hour when it goes back, he said when they got back, he said their fingers sort of dug into the metal. They've been pressing so hard to hold on. And Mark Bando says he thinks it was like that, but I think he's at Planes, Trains and Automobiles, where Steve Martin's gripping the dashboard and and his fingers go right in because he's so... He said it must have been like that, but these two guys, I've ridden on the front of it, I've had a Jeep, I've ridden on the front of the Jeep. If it's going more than about 10 miles an hour, you're going to fall off. And it was doing 40 miles an hour, and they somehow managed to hang on and not fall off. And it's called Sink's legendary Jeep drive of D-Day.